Coming into the acceleration zone, and away they go. They charge their way into the first corner, and a couple of them a little hairy towards the back of the field, but they managed to get through all right. And one car in trouble is the car of Greg Ross, who's gone off into the infield. However, the leader is the 86 car of Ian Rickson, and he's doing it reasonably comfortably at the moment. 39 car of Mick Lear is at the back of the pack. Let's get our attention up to the front of the pack, where the yellow car of 86 of Ian Rickson's the leader. Now the 77 car of Bruce McCulloch moving up on the outside of him. Then the 17 of Chris Snyder, who's challenging strongly as well. Oh, the 77 car of McCulloch got out very wide and almost collided with the concrete wall. And Ian Rickson in the 86 still has the lead. Oh, there's trouble there for Chris Snyder in the 17. Looks like he's popped the tyre, I'd reckon. And here's McCulloch having another shot at Rickson on the outside. The yellow car 86 of Rickson on the inside, the leader. The 77 car of McCulloch is in second place. Then comes the 49 car way back in third spot, Gordon Pratton, and Ron St John clouting the concrete wall in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and he just can't get off it at the moment. Now he bounces away from it eventually, but certainly got hooked right up on that wall. Still a tremendous battle up front, where 86 Ian Rickson is being challenged by 77 McCulloch, and I think McCulloch might eventually get the better of him here, and yes he does. 77 McCulloch in front of the 86 of Rickson. Then Ron Letham Jr. in the number 11 making a really late charge for the lead, but he's left his run much too late. Bruce McCulloch is the man who managed to get his nose out in front. Oh, look at Ron Letham Jr. come home strongly in the last couple of laps. 77 McCulloch is first. No, Ian Rickson in the 86 held on for second in front of the 11 of Ron Letham Jr. Then the 50 of Danny Hayes, followed up by the 8 of Ron St John. 1:56.674. Danny Hayes, the flashing. Into the acceleration zone they come, and Snyder powers it away. He'll certainly be very hard to catch. Pratton tried to go with him on the outside. Hayes came through on the inside. So look out, here comes a bit of a danger developing now, with Danny Hayes in the number 50 doing particularly well. Snyder is still the leader. Hayes is chasing out after him though in the number 50. Then comes Pratton, and those three cars are well clear of the rest. Pratton out very wide again, so let's leave the rest of the cars and concentrate on the two up front, where Snyder and Hayes are having a great battle. Snyder in the black car number 17 and Hayes in the yellow car number 50. Still nothing between them. Here's Hayes trying to come through on the inside of Snyder as Snyder drifted out on the corner. Snyder kicked back at him. Coming into turn 3 and 4, the black car number 17 of Snyder, the yellow car number 50 of Hayes tries to throw down on the inside, but the 17 is first. The 50 car of Hayes, and the 49 car of Pratton, the 8 car of Ron St John, and no time taken in the modified hot rod rookie consolation. Their last race of the season. Green flag falls and away they go, and let's see how they charge into turn 1. Snyder is trapped up very high. Ron Letham Jr. trying to go through on the inside. They've all negotiated turn 1 and 2 fairly safely, but gee, they're bunching up very quickly going into 3 and 4, where the race leader is the 77 car of McCulloch. Ron Letham Jr. in the number 11 is moving up on the outside of him. Is he going too fast into turn 2? No, geez, very wobbly, but he did get away with it, and so Ron Letham Jr. takes up the lead. And look at Chris Snyder. He's going round the outside very quickly, but he gets into a little bit of trouble there. Bruce McCulloch has dropped back to third. Craig Wrightson squeezing through the centre, up and over the top. No, they all got away out of that all right. How they did, I'll never know. There's Easter going for a spin in the number 3, and the 86 of Rickson is going for a spin as well. There goes Ron Letham Jr. for a spin, but he'll be lucky because the flat tyre on the Gillespie car has been noticed. Zone. The green flag falls, and it was Ron Lethem Jr. who shot back into the lead. Chris Snyder is holding down. Oh, Ron Lethem Jr. is sold out in front of everybody, but went right off onto the infield. Vassal went round by himself. Ron Lethem Jr. comes back onto the end of the pack. So too does Warren Vassal, and they've really dropped some places. And Bruce McCulloch getting back onto the racetrack, thought he was the one that was mechanical defected. Greg Ross goes onto the infield in the number 30 car. He's out of the action. And Craig Wrightson is coming through on the inside of Chris Snyder to take up the running. So Wrightson the leader. And he's out to try and win the last hot rod race of the season, but the Sydney sider Darren Mowat is going to try and have something to say about it. And Darren Mowat coming up to put the pressure on to Craig Wrightson. Then comes Chris Snyder, followed by Edmund. Next is Lavender, then comes Bundy, followed by Jeffs and Neil Gillespie, and then Danny Hayes. Rickson seemed to have the car going there for a moment. Now he's driving away. In the meantime, Craig Wrightson is starting to move away from Darren Mowat. In fact, is lapping very quickly. Mowat trying to stay in touch with Wrightson at the moment and not let too many slower cars get between he and the leader. We go back to Snyder in the 17, followed by the 12 of Edmund, then comes the 10 of Eric Lavender. And Mowat and Wrightson are clear of traffic at the moment, so it'll be an opportunity for Mowat to get out after Wrightson, but Wrightson seems to have things covered at this stage. Wrightson leads, followed by the 99 of Mowat. Now the 12 of Edmund is moving up on the outside of the 17 of Snyder. Snyder is hanging on to the third spot, although Edmund's coming round the outside. Edmunds now goes up into third place, but he's a long way behind the two leaders, Wrightson and Mowat. Red car number 16 going down the back straightaway is the race leader of the hot rod handicap feature. Then there's a gap to the blue and white car 99 of Dennis Mowat, and then a big gap back to the third place car, which is the white car number 12 of Edmund, then the white car number 10 of Lavender, and the red 54 car of Bundy going through on the inside of the black 17 Chris Snyder, who has slowed right down to a walk, and it looks as if he's lost quite a lot of power with a mechanical problem. Darren Mowat not able to stay in touch with the leader Craig Wrightson, and Wrightson's put a couple of slower cars between he and Mowat to give him a safe buffer. And coming down main straight away with just 2 to go, Craig Wrightson seems to have the feature comfortably in his keeping. Wrightson in the red car number 16, who is the mechanic at the Kevin and Chris Hines Ampol service station in Glendale, has 1 lap to go. Followed by the 99 of Darren Mowat, who's in second spot and has been chasing after Wrightson right throughout the race, but he hasn't been able to get really within a serious challenging spot. And coming down to take the checkered flag, the last hot rod race of the season goes to 16 Craig Wrightson. 99 Darren Mowat was second. Third place will go to the number 10 of Eric Lavender, ahead of the 12 of Jeff Edmund and the 54 of Barry Bundy. No time taken because of the stoppage during the 15 laps.